summertime comes, and man, I am not a fan. I'm not gonna lie. It's never bothered me to work out in the heat and stuff, but I've always been big, always sweated a lot, and it's sweaty, it's buggy. You're always fighting pests and the heat, and y'all that really like summertime, I don't know what's wrong with you. No, I'm messing with you. I'll catch up to you. We get some more work done around here.
I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead. Today we are going to do a lot of work in the garden. We got a lot of work needs to be done. I need to do some weeding. I need to do some clearing out of old plants to get ready for fall gardening, and some more fall gardening. As you guys seen in some earlier videos, we went ahead and got some of our fall beans planted. I found another package of fall beans, and so we're going to get them planted as well. But probably not today. Today's going to be weeding and clearing out and getting stuff prepared. It is too wet, I think, to go ahead and disc up ground and those kinds of things and get ready to plant, but we can pull plants and weed and those kinds of things. I do want to thank you guys for praying for rain. We actually got good rain the other day for the first time in a long time. It rained hard, it rained gentle, it rained a good part of the day. We still have wet ground, which is amazing because it's been a couple days since we got the rain. We had puddles, which we haven't had in forever, and I'm very thankful for that. The grass is greening up some again, which is fantastic, and I got some wild edibles that I want to dehydrate before we get into the winter time, some stuff that's good for medicine, and there'll be some videos on that in the future. But today is about weeding and pulling out old plants and pulling out old T-posts and those kinds of things. I'll take you on a quick pre-garden tour. This will be the before we do all the work that we need to do, and we'll show you guys the after, and we will go from there. So come along with us today, sweat a little bit, work a little bit, enjoy God's creation a whole lot. This is the area that we disked up the other day and planted some fall beans. Here we can tell they're actually starting to sprout a little bit, which is good. Fun fact, it was super dry whenever I disked this up, so the dirt powdered really easily. But we got all that rain, and I had to come back out here and push some seeds back down because the dirt settled so much. Here's our tomato plants. They need tied up and weeded, but they are actually looking like something and starting to put on some tomatoes. I'm hoping and praying that this garden's going to kind of turn around as we get into these cooler temperatures and actually produce for us fairly well. It's not that it hasn't, it has produced some. We've been thankful for that. We've had some other friends that their garden has produced some, more than they eat anyway, and they have sent it to the house. And I was thanking them last night. I said, we'd be in a bind food-wise if you guys wouldn't have, and they just was trying to follow the Lord, and Lord felt like the Lord told them to give us some of that stuff, and what a blessing it's been. Here's our pepper plants, actually starting to put on a couple blooms, which they haven't hardly done all summer. And so I'm thankful for that. We will just stick with them and we'll see what happens. Here's our early summer cucumber plants. They are dying off and looking pitiful. The plan is to go ahead and pull the T-post, roll up the fencing, get it out of the way. And this area will become, between the peppers and the green beans over here, will become part of our fall garden area. These beans, I have been really kind of torn on what to do. Part of me wants to just disc them up, pull them up and disc them up and just start over in this area. Then the other part of me says, man, they are full of blooms, and maybe with the cooler temperatures and a little bit of rain, they'll actually start producing beans. So we're going to leave them. I'm going to weed them, and we'll see if they produce anything at all. I'm going to kind of take a chance on it, and we'll just see what happens. Here's our zucchini plants. We have gotten more zucchini than we'll eat and know what to do with. And as it's wrapping up here in the fall, I think our plan is today, I'll try to rip these guys out and get this area prepared for fall gardening. Here is our okra. It's actually starting to put on some okra. Once again, needs weeded and cleaned up a little bit. If you guys will remember, I had to re-disc up this area and replant the okra, which means I've got some okra coming up in wild and crazy places, and I've just left it. And whatever we can produce, we'll produce. Here's our cucumbers for the fall. They've been producing quite a bit of cucumbers. They're not really growing. The plants aren't really growing like crazy, but they've been producing cucumbers. So we will just keep muddling along with them, getting them cleared out. We'll show you this corn. The saga of the corn, which had gotten ate down by the cattle that got out. Ate down to nubs. And I just kind of give up on it, and I wasn't worrying about it. Wasn't watering it, nothing. And I got out here one day and was working and noticed some of it was trying to spring back. And so I just went ahead and said, you know what, we'll just see what it'll do. And so we have actually got some itty bitty ears of corn, and we'll see what it does. We'll just go ahead and keep watering it. Needs weeded as well. Not as bad as some of the rest of the garden, but it needs weeded. And we'll walk through it down here. As you can see, it's pretty thin. There's not a whole bunch of it, but it's something, and we'll see what we can get out of it. If we can get any corn before the coons eat it anyhow. And then here is our watermelon and cantaloupe patch. Also needs a little bit of weeding. And as we can tell, we've got a few little ones on, which is good. We'll get down here and get some work done. All right, so I know the sun's at my back, which means the lighting's not good. But stick with us today. We're gonna get done all that we can. I don't know that I'll get everything done that I've set out to do today, but we'll get as much done as we can, weeding and getting ready for fall gardening. I ordered a bunch of seed the other day with the idea of doing a greenhouse, and we're still planning on doing a greenhouse, but we're also going to do the fall gardening. I have done some fall gardening. I'm fairly comfortable doing that. The greenhouse is out of my wheelhouse. I've never done it. I've been trying to learn all that I can. We are going to try it, see what happens, and if nothing else, I told the wife, even if we don't grow a whole lot in it through the winter, even if we just grow a little bit, and then the next year use it for our seed starts, it will have paid for itself, really. And so it's not a good debate to say don't get one. And so we'll go ahead and get one, and if nothing else, we'll use it for our seed starts for next year. But anyhow, time to get to work. I want to show you guys an update. We're still working on our video process and what would be a good editing software, and so I can't very well hold my phone and do the work that I've been doing. So I do apologize for that, although who really wants to watch me sit out here and sweat anyhow? But we'll kind of show you guys kind of what we've done here. Well, we have tied up the tomato plants and weeded them. I like to just throw the weeds down in the middle of these rows where we're not growing anything. This particular garden spot especially could use any help with a little bit of extra soil that it can possibly get. And so we'll throw that stuff down in there. But actually can see the tomato plants, right? I got them all tied up, looking halfway good. Got the peppers weeded and looking decent. This is where the early spring, summer cucumbers were, and we got all the T-posts out, picked all the cucumbers that were on it, and got all the T-posts and fencing out. This is ready to be disced up now, and we will go from there on it. Got the green bean plants weeded. I'm still torn about exactly what to do. Disc it all up and call it good and replant other stuff in there, or just try to let these things go on, because they finally are starting to put on a few beans. I got a handful of them picked, not a bunch, but I did get a pretty decent little handful picked of beans off of what we've got here. So once again, tempted to leave them, show you guys kind of what we got. Like I said, it wasn't a bunch, but we did get some. This is where our zucchini was. We've got it pulled I just got piles of zucchini plants, one on this end and one at the other. We'll throw that on the compost hill where the potatoes was. We got the okra all weeded. As you can tell, this okra here on this side next to them zucchinis, that zucchini had overshadowed it pretty good and it wasn't able to grow very well. So pulling that zucchini out of there should allow these plants on this side to come along, but we are starting to get a few okra also. So I told Melissa, I'm wondering if this isn't gonna, if we just can kind of keep it around now, if this garden's not gonna turn around some for us here in the fall and late summer and fall and be a decent little garden for us. It's sure looking that way, so I'm hoping that's the case. Obviously, I still need to weed the cucumbers and the corn and that kind of stuff. This is as far as I've made it. I've been picking as I go along, and so it's taking a little bit longer by doing it that way, but I thought I would anyhow, and we'll just keep plugging away. It is such a refreshing time out here. It is still probably close to 90 degrees out here today, but the walnut tree that I sit under, the shade tree, the leaves are starting to turn on it, and a little bit of breeze comes by and blows a bunch of them off. Even though it's still about 90 degrees, that little bit of breeze, it's actually got some coolness to it. It's not that hot like furnace air blowing on you like it has been this summer. And it excites me because fall is my absolute favorite time of year. I love the fall. I love the trees dropping leaves and being able to see back in the woods, and deer hunting, and the fishing's better, and squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting and all that stuff. Like, I absolutely eat all that up, and the fall is by far my favorite time of year. Second favorite time of year, because I'm still young enough that winter doesn't hurt me too bad, is winter time. I like the winter. I handle the cold better. I actually kind of enjoy cutting firewood, which we'll have some videos on that coming up because I need to cut some. But that's a different video for a different conversation. But I actually enjoy cutting firewood, at least some anyhow. It's something I actually kind of like to do. I do a lot of planning and a lot of building through the wintertime as well. A lot of our, what I'm calling our infrastructure, right, for our chickens and our rabbits and stuff, a lot of that will be built in the wintertime. And I like the wintertime. I like the fall and the winter. I like the cool temperatures. Yes, I like spring also. Spring would be my third favorite season because then we got green up and some of our wild edibles. I like vegetables a lot, and so we're able to start growing vegetables and stuff. I like that. And then summertime comes, and man, I am not a fan. I'm not gonna lie. It's never bothered me to work out in the heat and stuff, but I've always been big, always sweated a lot, and it's sweaty, it's buggy, you're always fighting pests and the heat, and y'all that really like summertime, I don't know what's wrong with you. No, I'm messing with you. I'll catch up to you. We get some more work done around here. So we have finished up the weeding and some of the disking. I'm gonna have to redisc it whenever I go to plant some of our fall crop. It's too wet to plant anything right now still, which is a good thing. Not complaining at all. Got a couple more dry days here, and then maybe Saturday, Friday evening, something like that. I can go ahead and plant some of our fall stuff, but I want to show you the after pictures of the garden, or the after video of the garden, and show you guys what a little bit of sweat, a little bit of work, and a whole lot of blessings from the Lord can do to what was a weeded up garden. Once again, if you don't get the weeds out, probably not going to be as fruitful, much like sin in your life, right? If you don't pull the weeds of sin up out of your life, probably not going to be as fruitful. And no, I'm not just talking about your bank account, although I believe the Lord will bless your bank account. I'm talking more about spiritually, but we'll show you guys. Here are the fall beans that we planted the other day, and look what happened during the day today. Grow, little fall bean, grow. Here's our tomatoes, weeded, tied up. looking spiffy. Pepper plants weeded. Here's a freshly disked area that will have some sort of fall crop in it. Still trying to make up my mind on what to do with these beans. They are full of blooms and there's some little beans on them. And boy, in a typical year, I'd say in a couple weeks, we will have beans coming out our ears. But I don't know. And I just don't know. So I've left it for now. We'll decide later. Pile of zucchini plants that I need to put on the compost pile, but that's not going to happen tonight. Here's another area freshly disked in. This is where the zucchini was. This will become fall garden planting area. And of course the okra weeded. The fall cucumbers weeded and cleaned up. My poor corn weeded and cleaned up. Once again, right, I'm leaving some weeds that I have weeded in between the rows. Let them things die off and they will become dirt, which this area can use a little bit of. We'll show you guys our watermelon and cantaloupe little patch here, freshly weeded. And here it is, freshly weeded. And like I said, there's some little cantaloupes. I gotta be careful here because these things will flat take over and it's hard to find a place to walk. But here you're looking at a little cantaloupe, a couple more little cantaloupes growing over there, and then some little watermelons starting to grow. So that's coming along nice. Praise the Lord for that. Thankful for it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. It goes a long ways to helping us out. I've seen we've gained a subscriber or two the last day or two, and I'm thankful for that. Most of all, I'm thankful for your guys' prayers. As we have gotten a little bit of rain, temperatures have cooled off considerably. Even today, as the wind would blow, it was still hot. I still did a lot of sweating, but that wind was actually cool when it came across. And what a blessing that is. Missed a funny looking cucumber. I want to thank you guys though for watching, and most of all for your prayers. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next time.